In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with y'all a stock that is about to go crazy tomorrow and why y'all should keep it in your watch list. We're also going to do an update on the stocks that I've mentioned in the last video, and we got to address the overall markets to get y'all ready as always. Alright, y'all, let's dive into the charts right off the bat. We got QQQ one more time, alright? Eventually, I'm gonna move on to the futures, but for now, let's still use QQQ. So far, let's zoom in here. The market is giving us some doji still. The candles were really tiny. Today, the daily candle got a little bit bigger, which is a good sign. It means that the volatility is about to kick in. Trading is more fun and there is more money to be made when the candles are a lot bigger. All right. Now, today ended up being a little bit bearish, which I was a bit suspicious about. And it started out like this. First, we opened up higher. And then the QQQ forms a descending triangle on the charts that breaks down right at 2:21 p.m. right here. It breaks down with decent volume. All right. And as soon as I see this thing, the price target is all the way down to 443. I thought the move was going to be a lot. I thought the move was going to be a lot slower, but it immediately accelerated and got there by the close. So we might see this thing actually retest the bottom again. The main question or the main concern that some of you may have is, are we going to go lower? Is this the beginning of a massive drop? I'm leaning more bearish. Again, there's a lot of stocks that are very overvalued, so I have to be bearish for tomorrow. All right, watch QQQ for a drop all the way down to 440 after a new structure forms intraday tomorrow, similarly to what happened today, which is why everything sold off. All right. Now, let's look at the Dow Jones. I think it didn't quite get as low as I warned you guys about. It didn't get back in here. This is the panic zone. If you drop below it, people are going to, the stop losses are going to get triggered and people are going to sell off. The market is going to sell off, I mean. So watch for that. All right. It's at a very critical level. Looking at the VIX, the VIX had massive volume in the afternoon. Again, the more this thing goes up, the more likely we are to see a big sell-off as well. I told y'all yesterday that I think we're going to get back to 15, and I'm not changing my mind on the VIX. I'm definitely not changing my mind on it. All right. Now, the stock that is about to go crazy tomorrow that y'all should keep in your watch list. That stock is NUE. All right. And the reason why I want to share NUE with you guys, number one, let's look at the daily charts. Okay. Number one, the stock is trading really high right here, which means that there's a lot of room to be, there's a lot of money to be made to the downside. It's looking like it got rejected off of resistance. The resistance line is up here, right here. Y'all can see that trending from the 30th of January all the way to yesterday. If you zoom in on the daily charts, there is a gravestone doji at the top right here. Typically, this is a very bearish sign. A gravestone dojis that appear after a bullish move right here. Now we're going to zoom into the charts one more time. We're gonna go on the 5-minute, and on the 5-minute charts, it's showing the same not the same, a similar structure to one of the stocks that I've shared with you guys in yesterday's video. All right, pay close attention to this. If we zoom into the 5-minute, there is a descending triangle on the chart, the same one that appeared on QQQ, which led to the sell-off, right? This thing broke down right at the close, and if it looks as good as it seems, and it behaves well, we should see the stock drop all the way down to 191 by tomorrow morning before like 10 a.m. We should see that drop again. It's similar. It's similar to the one that I shared with you guys yesterday. And yesterday I gave you guys MMM, and congratulations to anybody who made money on MMM. I told y'all there is 3 black rows on the charts, which is the reason why I was expecting the drop to 102. The stock dropped to 102. This one was very straightforward. And if you look at the structure that it appeared, this is exactly the same as NUE, with the breakdown occurring at the exact same time. All right, this one looked good, and I expect the similar outcome for NUE, just like for those of you who were able to catch this move and make some money on the stock. Similar play. All right. Now, regarding some other stocks that I've mentioned in the previous videos, let's do some updates. We're gonna do an update on Disney first and foremost. Now, Disney, I shared this one with you guys a while ago, and it finally made it up to this red box. Again, like I told y'all, I know the beginning, I know the end. The middle can be really, really tricky and very, very choppy. This one was kind of smooth. I'm not gonna lie. It was really, really smooth. It went from 114 to 112. Congrats to anybody who made money on it. Could it go higher towards 122? That's a maybe. All right. It could just move alone and not follow the indices at all and get to 122 really, really fast before it pulls back down. All right. That's kind of what I'm expecting with it. But overall, it's behaving really, really well, and it's on schedule. Again, all of my drawings are on there. I haven't touched anything since the last time. I believe it was last week or 8 days ago. I released a video on Disney sharing this swing trade opportunity with y'all. So it's been doing fine. Now, the other stock that I've shared with y'all, this one turned out to be a no-go. All right, it had a structure on there. And then I told you guys to put an alert right at 147.05. That alert never ringed. And also, something to pay close attention to is the first 5 minutes. Right after I released that video, this is not what you want to see. No, what you want to see is a green candle that pops like that. Solid, with a huge volume, bigger than yesterday's volume. That way it can give us some confidence for that stock is actually going to make it up to 250. This one was a no-go. It wasn't meant to be taken for a day trade or a swing trade, unless unless you were trading the fake out. All right. Now, is it going to play games? Probably. When is it going to get up here? I don't know. We gotta wait for a new structure to appear on BDX. That way it can give us some clues on when the next opportunity will be. Keep your alert at 247, because once that hits, there are short sellers right here, and that's where their stop losses are. There are short sellers located here, and there are also short sellers located right here. Their stop losses, when that gets triggered at 247, the volume on that specific day should be significantly higher than the average of the past 15 to 20 days. It should be at least at like 5 or 6 million on the day that that bell rings, which would allow for a potential follow through and for the gap fill at 245. But for now, I would just say chill with this one and wait. All right. Now, the last stock, this one was another stock that I've mentioned in yesterday's video, JP Morgan. And JP Morgan, I had to get rid of all of my puts on this one in the morning. I sold half. Let me see here. All right, so I sold half yesterday. At 12:26 when I got all the way down towards 194.75, and then I swung the rest, hoping for a move down to 193.5. It didn't quite get there. Like, it had a little bit of, it was playing games. I didn't like the price action in the morning. I thought it would just stay red and break below 194, And then once it started to make its way back up here, I ended up getting out. I ended up getting out of this one at 8:43 when it started to approach back up to 195. And as you can see, the stock went all the way up. Are the banks out of the woods? Are they not gonna drop anymore? I think today was just a day that is meant to test people's patience. I got out of it, but I still got my alert right underneath 194, and I'm waiting for that thing to ring, and hopefully it rings with a nice structure for a potential shorting opportunity. The banks are still high, and there's a lot of room at the bottom, which is what I'm really interested in. It has earnings also. All right, so that's something to consider moving forward. Now, another updates on the last stock. The last stock that I've mentioned yesterday was DWAC. DWAC, we can't even see that anymore because they switched the ticker name to DJT. Now, DWAC had a bullish pennant on there, a massive bullish pennant on there. And the price closed at exactly $49. And when I made the video yesterday, the price was creeping up in after hours to around like 53 bucks. And I told y'all that I don't want to get in the way of that going. Like, I don't want to be shorting it because it has the potential to go all the way up to 70 bucks. And it definitely went up there. All right. It definitely went up to 70 and went all the way up to 80 bucks. So congrats to anybody who was able to capitalize on that move as well. Is the stock done? Is it exhausted? Are we going to see a drop now? I would honestly, when I'm looking at the chain, there's better opportunities in the market. Like, I'm not super hyped on this one. It doesn't have much history. If they kept the tick and step on the same, then things would be a little different. But for now, I'm not touching this one. It needs time. It needs some price action. It needs something. I'm not touching it. All right. I'm not touching it at all. Where is it going to go? Maybe 50 bucks. All right. A lot of people are panicking because of that sell-off in the afternoon. We might even see a fade all the way back down to the resistance on the bullish pennant from, let's say this was the WAC. We might see just a fade all the way to the resistance, which is around like 49 bucks in the next couple of days. So that's my honest thoughts on all of these stocks, and that is the end of the video. Do not forget to annihilate the like button as always. Remember, I make these videos from Sunday to Thursday at exactly 10 p.m. Central Time. This video is a little bit late, I know. I got home late, so yeah. Definitely click on that subscribe button and click on that notification bell. That way YouTube notifies you whenever I release these videos. And sometimes they're late, but again, that's why you click on that notification bell. That way you get notified. If you'd like to be part of a private Discord community where you get all of this information in real time as I see them, you can find that as the first link in the description of the video below. Also, don't forget to follow me on social media at Paul and Guma at the Patternology Lab on Instagram and on X. And lastly, to get some free stocks with Webull, you can use the third link in the description of the video below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul and Guma with Patternology Lab, where we trade patterns and patterns only. And I will see all of you in tomorrow night's video.